thank you everyone for coming here. Here we have Jack. Jack is an expert of Vue.js, user experience, accessibility, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and he also has a perfect face for memes. And, yeah, and just discovered that he's about to release a book, but we'll talk about this, of course, today. How are you, Jack?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm a bit tired, but you know, that's what happens around this time of year, I guess.
Yeah, tough times, yeah.
It gets quite cold here in the UK and it gets dark, so there's not really a lot to do outside, so you're just sort of inside a lot.
Yeah, come to Italy, Jack, but it's,
I was meant to.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's raining today. It's raining today as well.
Oh, is it?
Maybe it's a bit warmer. I don't know.
Yeah. I actually had a trip planned earlier this year, and I was planning to go to Rome, Sorrento, Capri, and Pompeii, but it had to be cancelled. I wasn't allowed to go, so maybe I can rebook it next year.
And please let me know when you come to Rome. Of course,
yeah,
you'll get a free beer and a free pizza from me.
Oh, that sounds perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Yeah. So maybe not everyone knows you. So maybe I'd like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, tell us who are you, which are your interests. So what about you? How did you start to being a developer? Tell us a bit about you.
Yeah.
Yourself.
All right. So I started being interested in coding. I started with Python about 7 years ago now. I was about 13 years old, I guess, which kind of gives away how old I am now. Yeah, I started with Python at school. I was kind of learning, you know, bits and bobs here and there, and it wasn't until about maybe 4 years after being in school, I actually wanted to do this as a job. I didn't know exactly what kind of dev I wanted to be, whether a web dev or, you know, a data scientist or artificial intelligence. I didn't actually know. So 2 years ago, I left. I left my school at 18, and I decided to not go and get a computer science degree, simply because of the reason that I learn better when I do stuff. So I went to get a web development apprenticeship. That was supposed to be a 12-month course. It ended up being 6 months because the company who employed me actually went bust. So I had to quickly find a new job after that. So I then became a junior dev at the company I'm at now, and I've kind of progressed up to a dev. And you know, I work mostly with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, Vue, and I do some UI, UX, and accessibility here and there. I've not touched Python for about 2 years now. So I've changed now. I'm entirely a web dev right now, which could change in the future, but that's how it stands now.
Of course. Yeah, of course. And yes, so do you currently have some projects, something interesting that you are working on? What's the best thing that you are currently doing? It could be studying something.
So I'm at work. You know, I'm working on some kind of interesting software. We're working on payroll, a payroll software, and we're working on an access control software, which is quite good and it's quite an interesting software to work on. But then in my spare time, I've got a few project ideas, but you know, ideas need to be started at some point.
Yes.
But I've got a tooltip project right now. It's called Tooltips. You may notice
Okay.
I have a speech thing, but yeah, it's called that, and it's basically to put simple, customizable tooltips onto your web pages that can be easily read by a screen reader as well as a non-screen reader user as well. So they're very accessible in that sense. And then I've also got another project called Check Ali. And all this is it's a simple style sheet that you put into your dev into your software, and it will show you visually on screen where it may have detected some flaws in your HTML.
This is interesting.
Yes, so those are my current kind of projects. I do need to start some more, but I've been working on a book, as you mentioned, for about the past 4 months, and that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. Wow. This is yeah. I discovered this just today. I think so. Maybe this is a total preview. Maybe this is something that if you want, you're going to talk about. But I let you decide if you want to reveal this in this show. But if you want to talk about this, I'm really interested into this.
Yeah, I will mention quite briefly now. So the book is called Level Up Your Career Today, and then it's kind of like the dev version. And essentially the inspiration behind it was I used to get a lot of messages on Twitter and on LinkedIn from people who would call themselves aspiring devs, or people who would call them a junior dev, people who are going through a change in their actual career, so they want to move into tech, and even from some people who would class themselves as a senior dev as well. And they noticed that I'm quite young, so I'm only 20. I've only been in full-time work for 2 years, but I've utilized those 2 years extremely well, and I've got extremely far where I am right now. So I thought, rather than replying to every single person with, you know, a few tips here and there, I thought I'd write a book about it. And, you know, and it's a fairly cheap book. It's not a majorly expensive book, but, you know, it's just it's basically a dump of where I've dumped my ideas, my thoughts, and all of the processes I do. And I've just put it into the book, and so far it's got some good feedback from the people who are helping me pre-read it and to proofread it.
Of course, I read this as well. Now that I know that this exists, now I read it as well. So this is about also your experience. So this is something that you wrote with your heart. I think it's not something that you want to communicate to others.
So it is something I've definitely put my like passion into, and and it's about using your own passion and actually using your common sense to try and figure out what may be the best thing for you to do at that current point in time.
Nice.
Because a lot of people, they expect a lot of big changes. You know, I will learn something for a week, and I want a job. You know, I want a £60,000 job by next week. It might happen, It might happen, it might not.
Yeah,
But you know,
the chances are quite low, I think.
yeah. But the whole idea behind the book is to help you identify lots and lots of smaller
Nice.
steps that will push you towards either getting a job or getting your next job or getting paid outside of your intrinsic career. So I've said that your intrinsic career is actually your job, but then your extrinsic career is the things you do outside of work. So for example, the talk that we are having now is part of my extrinsic career. My book would be my extrinsic career, but the job I actually do and I go to do and I get paid to do each month, that would be my intrinsic career. And you know, it's got lots and lots of different kind of ways how you can improve bit by bit your intrinsic and extrinsic career, which I hope it goes well, but we will see.
We'll see. So do we have a date for this?
Yeah, so it was originally the 31st of August, and then I postponed it to the 30th of September, and then I postponed it again to the 31st of October. But 31st of October is the date that it'll be available.
But is this your first product, your first book?
It is, yeah. It'll be the first one I've written. Yeah, but I've had a lot of people help me on it. I've had an expert in kind of like mindfulness. They work at a university in the somewhere here, and they have kind of read through it to make sure that the things I'm saying are kind of factually correct. So yeah, it's been a very interesting experience.
So it seems that you have worked a lot on this, so it's not something that you just wrote in some days. So I think that I already feel that there is a lot of work behind, because I think that sometimes people they just see the result. They maybe just judge a product maybe from the number of pages or the length of the video, but there is so much work behind this.
Yeah, you know, you have to do a lot of research. You know, it's okay writing something, but is what you're writing actually good advice, or is it factually correct? You know, it might be partly correct, but you've then got to go and do some research to make sure that it is correct. And you know, there is a lot of work that goes into these sorts of things, and you know, and I hope it pays off. So I don't mean it pays off, you know, as in I get compensated for the time I spent on it. As in I hope it pays off for whoever reads it. You know, I hope they get at least something out of it. And also it kind of helps me as well. So working on it, I've learned a lot of new things just from writing it. So, you know, it's really helped me as well.
Yeah, this is something also important for me, because, for example, before January, I wouldn't define me in any sense content creator. So I just started for myself. I studied quite a lot, done a lot of projects, but just for myself. I was really focused on myself. Instead, I've changed my mindset, and Twitter helped me a lot. So maybe also you know that I like to give content, to share my knowledge, everything I know, and this is also a very good exercise for you. You get really if you need to explain something to people, you really get the concepts as well, because you keep repeating that. You get questions. People say, why this is in this way instead of this, and by answering these questions, you really became what we could say an expert. An expert is someone who can answer to a lot of different questions about the topic. This is just, this is what I'll do define an expert, not someone with a certificate or a degree. So this is what I should define an expert of a topic.
Yes, I agree entirely. You know, if you're going to put out, you know, if you're going to put out a tweet, you know, people are going to ask you questions. You know, you're not going to be able to answer all those questions, but you might be able to then research the answers to those questions, and then both of you will learn something. So it's incredibly helpful. I also like using Twitter as well, because I think it gives you a kind of breadth of what's available out there. So, you know, I see tweets from people. It's like, hey, I've used this tech, you know, it's really, really good. You know, I recommend other people, you know, try it out as well. And I'm like, oh, right, I didn't realize that tech actually existed. Now I know. Thank you, Twitter. So it is extremely helpful.
Yeah. It's like a real-time newspaper that you keep reading, and
exactly.
It's also useful for me, and also to have an idea of what the tech people in general is using in that moment. Okay. You could also learn something that is not related to Twitter, of course. We're not saying that you need to do what Twitter says, but it's important maybe to have feedbacks, because maybe you discovered some new tech, you find it very useful, but then you start seeing some articles that say, oh, there's some problem that maybe you never had, because maybe you worked in a different environment, for example. And understand, for example, if you switch environment, you could have some problems. So it's really important to get connected, and also use socials in Twitter in a proper way. For example, for me, before I just saw the socials like a waste of time. That you just, okay, now I just need to relax. Let's just see something. Instead, from January, February, I switched this, and I started to use this for what I need. So who am I? I'm a developer. I'm a software engineer. So let's get connected with other developers. See what do they think about these technologies. What I'm interested about. So I think that if socials are used in the proper way, they're also useful for you.
Exactly. Yeah. I was never on Twitter. Someone who I work with now actually said, you know, if you join Twitter, there's a huge tech community of people who you know can share amazing stuff, you know, and you can then learn a lot of stuff from what you see on this. So I was like, oh, okay. So then I joined Twitter in April. And honestly, joining Twitter is one of the best things I've ever done for my career, because it's opened up so many opportunities, and I feel like I am aware of more things now than I was, before I joined, and I've even started to realize now that each person has their own expertise, and they'll start tweeting about that certain thing. So, you know, I'll tweet about my certain thing, which, you know, I don't necessarily see other people tweeting, and then I'll tweet something, and then it helps other people as well, and then, you know, the same thing happens back. You know, I see a tweet, I'm like, wow, thank you for putting in the time to tweet that, because that really, really helped me. So yeah, I completely agree that if you use it properly, and, you know, I guess that's kind of an opinion really, but, you know, if you want to use it for your career to be a better dev, or to improve your skills in tech, then definitely use it properly in the terms of tech. But if you want to use it for some social things as well, then, you know, I find that that's perfectly okay, because we are all humans.
Yeah, of course, of course. We also need some jokes, something like this,
Yeah,
like some.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Memes.
There is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I had. Yeah, you know that I really had a really, really intense period when I did a lot of memes.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
stopped this activity because otherwise people think that I create memes from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. So it's not like this, but yeah, yeah. And I also I say that the memes will come back, but now I need to focus on some other things. But of course, memes will strike back.
Yeah, you've now started something where people will make the memes for you.
Yeah, yeah. Also, yeah, also that.
Yeah, there are some amazing things out
Yeah.
there.
No, I really enjoyed this because I started to make this to other people. Then they started to do this about me.
Yeah.
This is what I deserve. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, maybe I stopped a bit when I started making videos because in August I started making videos. I did like 30 videos in 2 months.
Okay, yeah,
So,
wow.
so I focused a lot on making videos, also on editing. I also like to say that I never edited and posted a video before. So, and also what I'm doing now, it still seems very strange to me. So what I'm doing with you now, maybe someone
Yeah.
who get on this video say, oh, okay, maybe he's doing this for years, I don't know. This is the first time that I have this setup with different setup with my PC behind me. Yeah, and it's the first time that I try to interview my friends. Yeah, because we already know.
Yeah.
So it's something very new to me. I like to do this because maybe this for me I think that I can improve on doing
Yes.
this. Also, I think that it's important to get out of your comfort zone. If you do something that you are not used to, you really
Absolutely.
improve.
And
Yeah,
I can definitely relate to that. You know, as you
yeah,
know, I have a speech thing. You know, I can't always say my words correctly, just like I did there. So when I do these things, it's not in my comfort zone. So then, you know, I sort of like force myself to do it.
yeah,
Then eventually, you know, I'm fine. And I'm sure you feel the exact same too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks, Jack. I'm really happy to have you here.
Yeah.
You are really the first person because I did one with Adrian, but it was just a video call. We just talked about each other. So yeah, because I was we're really excited to also to talk to him. So now we are trying to also maybe try to let people understand what you are saying and saying. So
Yeah.
I think that this is could also be useful to someone who is watching who watch this.
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, yeah.
It allows them to get to know us as well because people mostly see us too from tweets and that they don't really get to see us a lot. So, you know, I
Yeah,
think it allows people to get to know who we are.
yeah. Yeah. I think it also a different format, something different instead of just tweeting. I think
Yeah.
that it could be interesting. Yeah.
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 It is always worth a try.
Yeah.
Always. And I
Yeah.
think
Uh-huh.
these will go down quite well because I've seen I've seen some things similar in the past and they go down quite well. Now, I personally like to watch these sorts of things because, you know, I want to know who that person actually is. You know,
Yeah.
do they sound passionate about what they're talking about, or do they look like they don't want to be there? But yeah, you know, I really like this kind of format, and I know
Nice.
that us two have spoken a lot in the past, but it's only been via a text, and I know
Yeah.
we had a call a couple of months ago, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a very long call. So I quite like these because I like talking to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it was. There was Anna, Luke,
Yes,
you and me,
Anna
and then
McDougall.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and we played online Pictionary, I think.
Yeah, also, yeah. I think it was the week before my birthday because they said let's do on Tuesday, and yes, it was the starting of August, I think.
Yes, I seem to remember.
Like this.
And also Luke Constantine also joined eventually.
Yeah, a bit later, yeah. And I think that in that, I hadn't really posted a video. I had zero video at that time.
No.
yeah, I think.
No,
yes.
I can't remember.
Yeah. No, I'm quite sure about this. Or maybe just one or zero videos. I had just started, I think. Maybe I started recording something, but yeah. So yeah. Okay, and so maybe just one question because I don't know what the time, but I think it is already I don't want to make this video calls too long. I'll just like to chat a bit, half an hour, I don't know, 40 minutes. And so now maybe just a last question for you. And what do you have any future plans? Do you have something planned for the future or not?
I always have future plans. I'm the sort of person where if you don't have a future plan, I always find myself quite stuck. So I actually mentioned this in the book. Actually, I don't try and set end goals because once you've set an end goal, what do you do next? Well, the answer is you set more end goals. So what I try and do is I try and set, okay, what is my MVP goal? What is the least achievable thing I want to do? And I set lots of these, and that's a big one that's happened to me right now is I am actually moving out of my family home. So I still live with my dad and my sisters right now, but actually me and my girlfriend have bought a house. So I move out in about 2 or 3 weeks. So that is a big future plan that that I'm quite excited for. I also maybe want to do some YouTube videos, not too much. I just want to do some based on maybe the kind of projects I've made and putting them into a live example. That's a future plan I'd like to do. But in terms of my career itself, my intrinsic career, I want to progress being a front-end dev, but then I'm also leaning towards doing artificial intelligence. I quite like the idea behind that, so I may try and start learning that at some point. And then in terms of my extrinsic career, I kind of want to be a content creator on the side. I feel like I've got a lot of ideas that I can share, but being a content, it's very time consuming to make all of this content. So that would be something I'd like to do on the side. Starting off by sourcing out the book. But yeah.
I think that by being a content creator, you get a little bit addicted to do this. I've noticed this. You like, because when you start getting feedbacks from people, they say, for example, when people say, this helped me a lot. I don't think that they really understand the importance of these messages, of these feedbacks. I think that it's really, really important to give a positive feedback to a content creator if you actually add some use, you find that content useful. Because
Yes, I agree.
you also help them to keep going and keep adding new things, maybe on that specific topic, on something else. But
Yeah,
it's really important to give feedbacks and not just, for example, watch a video and go away. Oh, this helped me a lot without even saying. Like, I think that it's important. It's important because also we give to the content creators what they deserve.
I mean,
subscribe to their channel, follow them, help them in any possible way. I'm not just talking about money. Money also could help if they do this for if they do this for living. This could be really, really helpful. I know a lot of.
I guess from like a personal point of view as well. If someone starts to like your stuff and starts to feedback and starts to appreciate the stuff that you are making, it makes you want to make more. But if you're not really getting that feedback, then it starts making you feel like, okay, am I doing the right thing here? And then all of these people who kind of sit back, who watch all of this stuff, who see all of these tweets, who buy all of these books, they're not feeding back. So then they won't get similar content in the future. So it definitely is very, very important. Now, I'm not saying that to say, oh, please go and like all of my tweets. If something helps you, then definitely kind of give feedback. So whether it's a like on a tweet, or a thumbs up on a YouTube video, a upvote on a Stack Overflow post, always upvote the solution that has helped you, because that really helps other devs around you kind of see which solutions worked. Definitely give feedback.
I've experienced that people, they keep also asking the same questions. Maybe they're not always the same, but they keep asking, maybe, for example, especially in the start, in the beginning phase, I got so many messages about how can I start, which are the resources. So I think that I'd like to make these videos also inviting people, for example, like you, who is an expert on some topic, maybe to give some answers to them instead of just replying one by one, which is really, and it starts getting quite impossible when you get thousands of followers. Maybe you are experiencing this already.
Yes, always, every day.
And it will not get better. It will get worse at each 1,000 follower more you get.
No, the advice I give there is, okay, so I get a lot of messages, where do I start if I want to learn this and this? What is the best path into this and this? I get a lot of those, and the first thing I will say is be prepared to help yourself, because if you're not prepared to help yourself, then we're not prepared to help you.
And this is really, really important.
So we can't do it all for you. If we've got chance, we will absolutely try and help you find any resources that have helped us in the past, or try and guide you to wherever you need to be. But if you're not prepared to maybe do that research beforehand as well, then we're probably not, then our time is probably better spent helping someone else.
I think that it's more a problem of mindset. If you just ask, because it happened, for example, to me quite a lot of times that I get a question, I just try to help them. I try to Google that question, and on the first result, I of course I read this. Maybe it's a Stack Overflow one, And then I post the link, and of course I don't just copy paste the answer, but I send them the link and say, oh, this could help you. And it happens many times that they say, oh, this is exactly what I wanted. So maybe I love to help people, but maybe it would have been quite faster than send a message to me and waiting for me to reply. It could be days, I don't know. Instead, you with the same effort, or quite less effort, you could get the same result. So you should always make research before asking one by one. I think it's also a bit time consuming to, for example, send 10 messages, 20 messages to every single people. And it's not sure that they have the answer. So,
it is quite time consuming. So I feel my time is better spent answering people who ask for my advice on something. So maybe not necessarily a problem they're stuck on, but they are asking for my advice on something. I feel like that's somewhere where I can better help someone, because it's not something that can be easily researched online, you know.
Of course, in this case, yes.
You can't.
In this case, yes.
You can't really research advice. So I'm more than happy to give my advice to those people who need it. But you know, always be prepared to help yourself first. There's been maybe 2 or 3 cases in the past 6 months where I've had to tell the person who has asked me for either advice or a solution to a problem. In one person's case, they would send me messages all day asking for answers to every problem that they've encountered in that day, and I just felt like I was doing their job for them. I was like, you might as well send me your paycheck to me, because I'm doing your job. And you know, I said, I've sent you these courses, you know, these articles, which will give you a kickstart. And I feel like that's what you need, just a kickstart to get you going in the direction you need to go. But I can tell you've not taken that advice on, because 1, if you had, you wouldn't need to ask me, and 2, I forgot my train of thought.
No problem.
But yeah, you know, it's like, make sure that you're willing to take the advice to help yourself, because the things we are sending you, most likely we've encountered it before, and we've been through it as well. So we are sending you something that has helped us. And I'd also say that, you know, don't be afraid to ask a question if you genuinely don't know the answer, or don't know what to search, because sometimes you don't know what to search. So absolutely.
Yeah, but I think that there is also the opposite side. There are people who never ask questions. So absolutely. I think that we need to find a balance in this. There are people who just ask without trying to find out by themselves. And there are people who maybe they have not the idea. They say, oh, if I ask to someone, I think that if you tried a lot of things and you post something, it's totally legit. If you also, I'll suggest maybe, if I think that on forums or maybe on your personal tweet. It happened to me in the past. For example, I've asked the help for making videos because I was not really used to this. So I just generally asked, okay, what's your software? What do you use? So because I was not an expert on that case, and I just posted this on my Twitter, and people also helped me on using the right software, the right technologies. So I think that this can. I don't think that people will judge you if you ask something.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it could.
You don't have anything to lose by asking.
Yeah, of course.
You can only gain something if you ask. If you don't ask, then that person can't answer, and ultimately you are either stuck or you're not where you maybe want to be in terms of an answer. Yeah, so I do think asking questions to the right people is definitely important. I say that because I get questions about C# or Java. It's like, I'm not a C# or a Java dev. I can't help you here. But definitely ask the right people.
But you have 10,000 followers, so you should also know C# and Java, of course.
Exactly, because the amount of followers I have on Twitter reflects all of the knowledge I know in software. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. I am allowed to not know something, and so are you. So.
Okay. And, just one long question, Jack. But so do you have already started this YouTube channel or not? Do you have 0 videos for now, or you have something?
So it's quite interesting, really. I've got 0 videos. Yeah, I've got 0 videos right now, but I've got 2 subscribers. Yeah. But no, I've got a lot of kind of draft videos I want to do, and I'm in the same boat as you were maybe a couple of months ago. I don't know what the right software is to use, and I'm not particularly good at editing software to make it look to a decent standard and like it's not been made in the 1980s.
No, for example, I use the DaVinci Resolve. I don't get money from them, but I'm just saying that for me it was quite good to start from a total beginner. So I wasn't. I've never. If you've never ever checked my running videos, the first one were really bad, but it was my fault for the light. So it was not the fault of the program, but. I found it very easy to use. So if you don't know which one to start, I would recommend this. This is what I've asked on my tweet also. I also done some polls about this. I've just used what people they say the most. So and it went pretty well.
Yeah, and I won't be afraid to ask you any questions.
whenever you want. And one thing that I ask you. When you start your YouTube channel, please send a message to me. So I will add your YouTube channel in this video.
I will do. Thank you.
Already, yeah. But please remind me to do this, otherwise I will forget. So whenever you want, we can also put this now or later, whenever you want. So
yeah, I could send it you now actually because it's there. It's just not been touched.
Okay, so just put this there. Let's see how it goes. And but I think that YouTube it's really something that also helps us to improve. I think that I've improved quite a lot on making videos in these 2 months. This is my opinion. It could be
I actually agree. I think the quality of the actual videos you've done in the past 2 months have kind of gone upwards. They are amazing.
Just the one problem, and now I'm just recording from the webcam of my Mac, for example. But this could be also interesting because, for example, if you check the Adrian videos, I had I think very bad lighting. So this is the same camera that I'm using. And so I see the difference. We'll see when I'll upload this, but I think that there is a lot of effort.
Also
the first thing maybe it's a decent microphone. So when I bought this, I don't get any money from them, but I think that most of people they say that audio quality, maybe it's more important than actually the quality of the video.
Yes, so I'm not sure.
I agree on this. I had another microphone before, but when I was just running, there was no need to a microphone.
Yeah.
But when I started making videos, yeah, I think a good microphone is it's better than just buying a $1,000 web camera. This is what I suggested to maybe someone who's just start. But
and I'm thinking of that because I'm using the standard laptop webcam right now, and also I'm using my headphone speakers. I'm not entirely sure if it's particularly great, so maybe
it's good. It's good.
Oh, is it good? Oh, perfect.
No, I like it. And yeah. So Jack, thank you very much. It was really an honor to me to have you on this show.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so I think that we can do this again. Maybe
absolutely.
Maybe when you start making some videos, when you have something to say about that, I'd like to make another video call like this. And maybe we can. I would like to know about your experience, maybe of some months of just making videos. This would be very interesting also for me, because I'm in this position now because I started in August, so it's 2 months. So it will be also interesting for me to see what's your experience after 2 months. I think that this could help other people, because maybe you feel less difference. If you have some famous YouTubers, you say, okay, it's impossible to reach them. But if you talk, for example, to people like me, I've just made maybe a couple of videos, some 20 videos, 30 videos. So it's important maybe to help others to make it start.
Hopefully by our next chat, I won't be here. I'll have a different background, different setup. I'll be at my new house. And I'll actually have a desk. I don't have a desk now, so so hopefully, and actually, I'm hoping the lighting will be a lot better, because I've realised it's not the best lighting right now.
No, it's not a problem, but we will see the difference. We will say before and after. I can't wait to do this comparison. Okay, so thank you again, Jack. Thank you for your time. Please check the book of Jack. I'll put it in the description when it will be out, and also follow him on Twitter. He also has a really good timeline and tweets. I follow him from April, I think. When he just started, I've just followed him ASAP.
Thank you.
So thank you, Jack, and see you next time. Okay.
Yes, I will see you next time.